It all started in Arco, at the beginning of last year. At that time, I was trying Erebor, the very first route I bolted. I tried it for a long time, and eventually sent it on January 8, 2021.
Ale. Dai. Dai, duro. Sì, cazzo.
Good morning. This is my, more or less, daily training routine. Sometimes waking up in the morning is hard, like climbing a very hard route. After the warming up door, there is a good moment to warm up on the hangboard. And then I arrive to the swinging chair. After this transition, there is a quite good traverse that I call the balcony traverse, and then a back jump. Some easy moves on soft rocks, and another section on another door, but this time way harder. I have to use the momentum to arrive to the last section of the route, the kitchen traverse. And then there's the crux of the route. I was very close to the end, but I did again the same mistake. I poured milk before the cereals. I fell again on the last move. If you too struggle to open a jam jar, or you are asking yourself how are the holes on an Ambi Plus, this video is made for you. My first experience on an Ambi Plus has been on Perfecto Mundo. In the past few years, the cracks of Perfecto Mundo became very famous, and you probably know very well the holes on the cracks. The one finger pocket and the pinch. My second experience was on change. On the first cracks, the holes are very tiny. But before and after these cracks, in both routes, there are some good holes. And on these holes it's possible to rest, and they divide the route in different hard sections. And I don't know why, but I like to wear a red shirt when I climbing something at my limit. But sometimes the difference between a good or a bad hold is just relative.
Chi ha spento le luci?
Arco, the home of climbing. People come from all over the world to try the most beautiful, historical and hard routes of Italy. And here, today, we are going bouldering. Yes, I said bouldering, no rope needed, let's do it again. We are going bouldering.
Sì, dai. Voilà.
The Rockmaster is a legendary competition held in Arco since 1987. And now, the main wall of the competition is the headquarters of the Italian national team. And probably the hardest move was to release the toe hook and hold the swing, after meters and meters of climbing.
Alessi. Alessi.
These 2 days of climbing were exhausting for everyone, and the worst thing I think was to deal with the skin. But at the end everything finished with a good ice cream in Arco, so everyone was happy. È andata, è finita. Per oggi basta. Have you ever thought your grip on the wall is not enough? We have a solution for you.
I tried the Grippo Grove and I think they are great for climbing. They keep your finger warm, preserve your skin, and I don't even use chalk anymore.
Grippo glove. Buy one and you get two. Great for opening the jam jar. Marco Spamer, who is a boulder specialist, bolted 2 routes in the cave. The first one was L'Arciere on the left, and the latest one was Goosefraba on the right. So I decided to try to link these 2 routes to climb the longest, hardest and most logical line of the cave. And as usual, let's have a close look of the holes of the route. It already starts with very bad holes. Continues in very bad holes. And finishes in very bad holes. And this was the last place where it was possible to fall. But fortunately, this time I did not. Marking the first ascent of Terapia d'Urto, a new 9A Plus in Arco, and the second one of Padaro after the bow. Do you remember last year in 2020 when we were in lockdown and we were all training with our hangboards? We were cooking all the food we had in the kitchen. And we were doing all the stupid stuff we never dared to do. And we took part in all the weirdest climbing challenges. And it was at that time that my trainer came up with the idea of the table training. A training that was possible to do just with a table and was good enough to keep a good climbing shape while we were in lockdown.
Oh. Down the stair. Okay.
Are you always complaining about the complexity of their modern style routes? Are you, like me, not understanding anything about what you have to do to climb perfectly a route? So our latest technology has everything you need. We are proud to present to the world the beta glasses. Just wear them and you will see all the beta of the route you want to try. Beta glasses. Watch beyond. Available only in green. I watched the time like this. There was the watch at the end of the wall, and the alarm started clocking like 5 seconds, 4 seconds. So I was in a super hurry. I jumped straight to the top, and somehow it was unbelievable. I did the first stop in the first boulder of the qualification. I had to pinch with my left hand, so I did 3 attempts for this boulder. The first one, my left foot slipped on the volume. It was very slippery. On the second one, I just tried to catch the undercling, and on the third attempt, I just catch it, and then it was quite easy to go to the top. So with the 5 boulders, I qualified for the semi-final. I think it was quite weird, this boulder, because it had a lot of different beta that could be done, especially in the first part. I choose to do this beta going to the right to the good hold, like taking like this, and then move to the left to this volume, and I try to grab the volume first on the sloppy part, and then I realized there was the edge of the volume, there was a small crimp. Usually in this kind of volume there is always a small crimp at the edge, and this is my style, so I crimped as hard as I can this part of the volume, and then I catch again with the right hand the sloppy part of the volume, and the next part was not a problem for me because it was like a crimpy part. And in the first attempt I even started with the mask, because I used to climb with mask when I go climbing in the gym and when I'm in training, so I didn't even realize it was possible to climb without the mask. The beginning is not very hard, and more or less at the half of the route there is the famous cross of Noia. But when I started trying lapsus, I did this part a lot of times. The real problem was in the next part.
Dai Marzia, Ale! Sì, dai Ale! Ale Marzia, Ale! Dai! Grande Marzi!
Il vecchio l'ha fatta.
Siamo. E lì è finita. Io non voglio Dopo 5 anni che non venivo a Seus ho deciso di tornare. L'ultima volta che sono stato qui avevo salito Jungle Boogie, l'anno prima avevo salito Biography nel 2015 e adesso nel 2021 sono tornato perché l'anno scorso Alex Megos ha liberato Bibliography, il secondo 9C al mondo, e per la prima volta ho deciso di provare a mettere le mani su un 9C. Era il passo successivo ovviamente dopo il 9B+, e non avevo molta scelta in realtà. C'era o Silence, che non ho provato l'anno scorso a Flatanger perché mi sono concentrato su Change, oppure questa.
Come sta? Com'è?
Ma adesso bene, un po' meglio. Aspetta, te lo dico tra 2 secondi. Ok, tieni. Eh sì, abbastanza lontano l'ultimo che ho messo. Blocca! Competition season already started, and the best way to train for the World Cups is to do a competition simulation in our training center in Arco. The first qualification route was set to be the easiest of the two. The second route was on the right wall, and this wall has been modified recently from the federation. Before it had some little roofs and it was a bit discontinued, and now the new wall is straight with a overhang of 31 degrees that goes almost up to the top. But this was a competition simulation, and the routes were way harder than the World Cup. I think this helped me a lot during the World Cup competition, because in every route that I would climb in a World Cup, I knew that it would be easier than this simulation. Have you ever thought your grip on the wall is not enough? We have a solution for you. Grip glove. Buy one and you get two. Great for opening the jam jar. Ho provato di nuovo le varie parti e ho fatto più fatica dei giorni precedenti, ho sentito le prese scivolose. Ho provato a fare un paio di giri prima, tra le 5 e le 7, ma la temperatura mi sembrava esageratamente alta, oppure sono solo io che non riuscivo a tenere le prese, però poi invece alle 8 di sera sembra che ci sia l'ora magica e il momento giusto per provare la via. Quindi le giornate si allungano un po', aspetto un po' più di tempo prima di salire e poi provo di nuovo le varie sezioni. The route starts with a boulder. Not super hard, but not easy as it may seem. This first part is considered 8B+, so it's not super hard. I did it without rest in my first days of tries, but the most important thing in this part is the optimization. The rest is for both hands, but there is room enough for 7 fingers. So every time I switch hand to rest, I have to make space for the pinky. Between the good hold and the boulder problem, there is no more rest, so I arrive at the boulder already super pumped. So before the hardest part, there are these in-cut crimps, but with very bad fit. The hardest move for me is matching this hold. The feet are really high and the position is very uncomfortable. The next hold is supposed to be a 2-finger pocket. But with some adjustment, I can fit 3 fingers. And this helps me to do the next move, that is the last hard move of the boulder. The landing hold is in-cut and sharp, made just for 4 fingers. From here the climb seems easier, but just because I came from an 8A+ boulder. This is the second rest of the route. From here would be easier to go to this good hold with the left hand, but then I had to change my beta and go with the right hand, which is a bit harder, but then makes the next part a bit easier.
Da qua in teoria ci sono tipo 8 metri di su lungo fino in catena, ma sono tutte ronchie, quindi ve la risparmio. È bella, c'è una via qui e adesso la provo a vista.
Do you feel the tension climbing on site because you have just one try per route in your whole life? We can offer more.
Cazzo, c'ero quasi, sono caduto in catena a vista. Che peccato, che non posso avere un secondo tentativo a vista, sarebbe proprio un sogno. Però abbiamo parlato di questa applicazione, non è male.
With Re-On-Site app, you can erase your memory of your last on-site try, so you can try it again, on-site or re-on-site.
Va bene, Sara, parto su questa via qui a vista. Ma guarda che fortuna, è già montata.
Re-On-Site, and you can finally re-on-site your project. It has only one side effect, that I don't remember which one was it. But in the other semi-final, something really unexpected happened. My teammate Michael Picoruaz beat Adam Ondra, so the final will be against me and Michael.
We have the Lord of the Boulder, we have one of the Olympionic, we have a really heartful guys, and I'm talking about Misha Picoruaz. On the right side, we have one of the guys that represent most of all our sport, the spirit of our sport. And I'm talking about the 3-time 9B plus climber and 6-time World Cup winner. Ladies and gentlemen, please make a noise for Stefano Ghisolfi! Stay on this noise on the left side for Misha Picoruaz. E allora sulla sinistra abbiamo il nostro Misha, che è uno che ha creduto sempre nei sogni, ha creduto nella vita, si è conquistato un ticket alle Olimpiadi e ce l'ha messa tutta, ha fatto bene, anzi benissimo. Dall'altra parte abbiamo Stefanino Ghisolfi, la leggenda, la definizione, il presente e probabilmente anche il futuro del nostro sport. È partito male, ha recuperato bene e adesso sta andando benissimo. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute, 9 seconds e all the legend for the one and the only golden boy, Stefano Ghisolfi.
My name is Matt Groom and welcome to the Under-10 National Italian Biking Championships. Stefano Ghisolfi has jumped up an age category, now on the corner. What's this? He's got off the bike. This is huge for Stefano Ghisolfi, not having the legs to get around the corner, struggling at the moment. That second place looking dodgy, and first place far, far behind now. Looks to his coaches in some distress. Stefano Ghisolfi, well, he motors on, but clearly his race is now over.
Grande.
Quando ho moschettonato la catena in realtà non mi sono neanche resa conto. Mi sono resa conto quando mi calava, ho detto tipo, ho fatto tipo ah, non ho neanche urlato, ho tipo fatto ah, che bello.
The rope into a better position. Stefano Ghisolfi on the big yellow volume. Oh, and he's a huge step. How is he still on the wall?
Wow. Ooh. That he still caught this one. I mean, wow, I saw him falling, definitely.
Stefano Ghisolfi is Spider-Man. You've heard it here first. How did he hold on to that yellow volume? Just using...
And look at this. I mean, it was super demanding for sure to hold just with one arm, basically. But I mean, he's still there and he's actually resting.
Yeah, Stefano had a moment where he's recovered well, but has it sapped his strength? 1 minute 36 on the clock. Stefano resting, somehow still on the wall. He's in 4th position currently. Sean Bailey is in 3rd. He's in the danger zone. Stefano Ghisolfi is eyeing him up. And now let's see if he can make the press. He looks far more solid than Sean did on this, and a big reach up though.
Solid. Wow, what is...
Stefano crawling his fingers up, latching the hold, getting a toe just on that right, flagging the left out and catching the side
he's
pull.
Still there. Now it gets really interesting. Is he going to do this move? He will stick it. And he does it.
There you go, you called it. Statically almost bumped into that hold. And that is jumping him right up to the top of the leaderboard for Stefano Ghisolfi. He'll want to finish this route anyway. Why not? 38 seconds on the clock. Let's see a men's top here. Oh, finally drops the big ball with the right hand.
What an impressive go. I mean, I saw him already falling before, and that he still held this one, impressive. I mean, that tells about his physical resources. I mean, and then he still manages to win this competition. Impressive.
He's done it in the worst conditions of this evening as well. Look at that rain now.
The rain is awful. I mean, we are actually getting a little bit wet here under the tent. And
and I could have rested more, but I noticed that I had just 1 minute left, and I had a few holes to climb more, so I decided to go anyway, even if I wasn't fully rested. And the next part was quite hard. I had to do this mantle with my left hand, put my foot really high, and clip this long quitter that was the last one of the route. And then these two sloper actually were a bit better than expected, so I could take both of them quite well. And the next one I checked how it was, and was quite bad. I could put my right foot really high immediately, and this was crucial for the next part. I turn my right hand and take the last crimp on this volume, and then I jump to the top and grab it, and this was the only top of the final, and with this top I could win the competition and win my 8th lead Italian championship.
Welcome to Infinity Boulder. This is the biggest climbing gym. This is the biggest climbing gym in Trentino.
Così, così. Adesso tutto peso. Sì, sì, sì. Ale, ale, ale. Sì, metti la punta, non so la
Volato il piede, quindi per prendere.
Destra.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then you rest 1 minute and you do it again, starting with the opposite hand.
From the same company of the Grippo gloves and the Beta glasses, we are introducing a new way to climb. The new Super Glue Choke is available for now. Super Glue Choke, and you will never let go a hold in your life again. It was August 24th, and it was my actual last day in Seus, because on the next day, on the 25th, I had to drive back home because on the next days there would be the Rockmaster competition in Arco, in my home, so this was the very last day I could try the route during this trip. The day was not the best, or maybe it looked the worst, because it was raining in the morning, so we decided to go up anyway, just because it was the last day. So maybe if it wasn't the last one, I wouldn't even go up to the crag, because going up to the crag is tiring, and going up risking not to climb is it's very tiring if you plan to climb some other days. But if it's your last day, like this one, then it was worth a chance. I felt good on the shoulder moves. Match it way better than the other times. Catch the 2-finger pocket, and that put the 3rd finger in it. And for the first time I stuck the crux. But I knew the route was not over. It was just the first crux. This part here was not super hard, but I had to be precise. And this was the hardest move of the second crux. And matching this, I was at 100% at my limit. I almost fell here, to this undercling. Then from here was still not over. Another move from the undercling to a big hold. And now the section here was a bit easier until a very good rest.